Okay, welcome back to turn 11 of the Death Ride, the Schwaben, where we've been putting the death into Death Ride. So yeah, last turn was a bit of a crunch turn. Tried to get Rice's tanks here into a rice sandwich, which, what with third company coming through this wood and second company peeking up on this side to try and catch them in the flank. So it hasn't been unduly successful. I don't think we managed to take an M60 out, but lost. Managed to take an M60 here out, and have managed to get all over this wood here, but lost 5 tanks in the process. So, not ideal. So this turn, yeah, second company has 2 tanks that are aiming, and they're gonna hang around just about long enough to get their shots off, and then do one. Should be safe getting down on the back of this reverse slope here. Their work is done, basically, because in this turn Rice is going to have to react to them. And I'm expecting that he will... well, he's got to do something. I don't think he's going to want to split and fight a two-way firefight looking this way and looking that way at the same time. Over on the right, third company is going to overrun this position, so you know we've definitely got a tank there, and we've got, well, this has already been knocked out, this Vulcan AA vehicle. The 713 is probably also not long for this world. So we're going to be having Fishbowl, the Sid 42 and Sergeant Spook moving in here to come up right on top of them. I suspect there's another tank in there as well. While Nilquan, Locacious and Perlican Taco adjust somewhat, so they're not all in a row, ready to get taken out by a single shot. While Kyle Reese, Antos HQ and Giuseppe Fazio drive Axel Palman's platoon straight up the middle in between them. So we've got a bit of a stress point here, because if these tanks don't get out of the way, the BMPs are going to run into them. We're going to get a traffic jam under the guns of Rice's stuff, which isn't going to end well. And if the BMPs can get across this stretch of open ground here, which I hope they'll manage, because I'm expecting Rice to react over here, then we're in behind him. Of course, they might run into something else up here. There might be... Rice might have a backstop of some description, and they might die horribly. But if I can squeeze them through, run a roll, I can send them all the way back up here. I can get it, into his backline. I kind of want to, if I can, tackle Rice's force in this wood here. Which isn't that big an ask, I think, for 3 BMPs, if they can spot anything. Because if I can neutralise this position, I get a bit of freedom of movement with first company back here, who currently really can't move up at all, because they'll be picked off by the tow vehicles that we know are there. But in theory, they might be able to hook around and go up the gap, using the terrain to stay out of sight. This is all while Rice has adjusted his DPICM onto my end of Schwaben, and everybody is getting pinned and suppressed by all this cluster warheads falling in. Also got Vinyl Derp as a line on this M113 here, and he's aiming, so he should hopefully be able to take that out. While I wait for my artillery to come in. So that's the agenda. I think this is going to be the complicated bit here, so let's get a bit of a good angle on this and press go. It's the 50 cal fire, yep, and there's a dead T62, and for some reason we're not hitting them. And it's the BMPs getting stuck. And another miss. And yeah, that's just a disaster, isn't it? Really. Yeah. We got one through. And we've finally managed to get some hits in on there, but that did not go as the way I wanted it to go. At all. It is somewhat filling in some suspicions I might have about Rice's. Oh, and then another one there, another tank there got hit by something. Right, so this is just a cluster really. But like I say, it's filling some gaps in what I think might be Rice's force. Force selection. Like, these guys reacted very fast. I'm beginning to suspect that you might have a tank battalion task force with just one company. So that would be 2 platoons of tanks and a rifle platoon. We know there's a rifle platoon in Schwaben. 2 platoons of tanks, so one here and one here. A scout platoon, which would be the scouts that we saw in this wood. Mortars, because we've seen some random single spotting rounds coming in around Schwaben. And then he's got his artillery, and these are all spanked up to like crack experience. So that could be what we're dealing with, in which case I don't think he's got the force to actually push. So after this disaster, we'll push on with Giuseppe Fazio and Tubius Maximus. Your job is to destroy tow vehicles in depth, and say, yeah, just have to say stop. I think stop. Come at me, bro. Right. So let's. We kind of have a vague idea of what happened here. Let's see what happened over in Schwaben. So first thing, Kaufman Johnson here is instantly. So again, we see like Rice's M60 there, just got the first shot off. Straight in the upper right hole. Nobody's getting out of that. And then we have Colm Fox also being hit. And those are my 2 tanks that were actually aiming. Did I forget to give? I think I forgot to give Mabuto some orders, so he might be not long for this world either. Except he can vaguely see something over here. He's just kind of sat there, isn't he? Right, that's not very helpful. We get in the actual town, so we didn't actually get our shots off here, even though we were aiming. You know, that just did not work at all. But at least Final Dub has, taken that M113 there out. We are getting more DPICM. Some near misses, but kind of seeing some of the restrictions of cluster munitions here, which is that they're coming down, but they still need to get hits, and that's actually quite difficult. And you got to remember the other factor here is that the some ammo cook-off from heater there. The other factor is that combat mission doesn't model unexploded ordnance, so some of these bomblets wouldn't actually go off necessarily. Is Rice pushing this way? Yeah, he is. So he's making a move from up here as well. Okay. Maybe I need to reorientate first company. Are they going to get across there before... before we spot him? But yeah, he's definitely kind of angling this way. Yeah, look, he's gone onto like the reverse slope there, or across the crest, where would be able to enfilade that line if I was still there. So yeah, it sort of worked. We did say it was about 50-50 for the two tanks here. Oh, so Confox could see, and then decided that he couldn't see, and then got blown up. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, so what happens here? What absolute cluster happens here? So... okay, so Sergeant Spook is firing at that unit there and misses, and this M60 destroys Volcatius. Nil Kwan misses this M60 completely. Yep. So a bit of bad luck there. Sergeant Spook is rolling forwards and is hit by another M60 here, which he never sees. This M60 in the meantime has reloaded, moved off, and shoots Nil Kwan in the face, killing the driver and immobilizing him, and drives off this way, flees. Finally spot this M60. The SID-42 spots him, he's rotating. And at the same time, this M60 here is shooting up this BMP. These are the two BMPs which have stopped. That's damaged the engine and caused some casualties inside. Sid fires a shot, which is intercepted by a tree. So that's more bad luck. And we get this M60 has got a third shot off. Which, God, I don't even know where that's gone. Ah, that's gone straight into Perlican Taco. Hit the weapon mount. Looks like everybody's okay, but the gun is out of action. Gets up. How fast is this thing reloading? Jesus Christ. Wow. That's like 10-second reload. So I know the 105mm shell is smaller than the 115 in the... in the T-62s, obviously. But wow. So this tank has so far got like what 4 shots off, and we're only 30 seconds in. So they've got to be at least crack or something like that. The Sid, though, in the meantime, has finally reloaded and destroyed, or hit at least, this M60 here at point blank range. Not saved by a tree this time. And sneaking up in the middle ground here, we have Justin Davies. The TC in that M60 has seen him, and he's getting some 50 cal fire out, but gets the hit in. So, oh, and at the same time, was that an RPG? Something takes this out. Oh, this immobilized BMP has decided, with only the gunner still surviving, up in his turret, has decided to fire an 85 into the back of this M113. So at least it's dead, I guess. Oh, hello. What was that? I feel like that might be a tow. Yeah, that looks like a tow. What was it? Let's see. 4 and then... Yeah, that's a tow. Which we have managed to get away with. So that's coming from in depth up here somewhere. Yeah, see, that's... I would probably have put something there if I was right. So this position here, we flip around, we can cover that huge... Yeah, you see what we can see so much stuff from there. Oh yeah, got away with that. And then just at the end, we got another shot from another M60 in this wood back here. That's gone all the way through and destroyed Justin Davies. So, that could have gone better, but I think couldn't really particularly account for a load of insane shooting from this M60 in particular. I mean, just wow. So where are we? Got one shot, which is a hit. Shot 2, which is another hit. Shot 3, that's another hit. Shot 4, another hit. So he's like, ugh, disgusting. What's the lead time between the shots here? Let's see. So, 58. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's firing a shot every 10 seconds. Oof. That's really fast. Yeah, to some extent, I am giving him a target-rich environment. You know, that's definitely a thing. And sending the BMPs through was probably a bit risky. But, I say, Giuseppe Fazio made it. It's just going to be an exercise in what to do with him now. If we know there's a tow vehicle here, which has popped smoke by the looks of that. Yeah, there we go. There go those smoke grenades. Which has popped smoke and is now reversing. Do M901s have smoke launchers? I don't remember that. Oh, yeah. Clearly they do. So, that's actually kind of a non-starter. I guess it was a bit optimistic. But at least we've made it to this wood here. And I feel like we can at least achieve something. Maybe stick some of the infantry up here, keep an eye on this side of Schweben so I get some early warning. But yeah. Don't actually know what to do with these now, which is the other problem. It's another headquarters unit. Oh, so that was the headquarters tank. Like, one of the things that I was wondering about is if... Because there's just two M60s here. Unless, God forbid, there's another one hiding in here. That this might actually be the company HQ team. God, that's annoying. It wasn't here, it was up there, wasn't it? So, okay, yeah, there's a bit of a keyhole there. Okay, that's fine. I was going to get even more annoyed. So yeah, that did not go very well. Really. The whole charging this area kind of worked okay. But when you actually go back and factor in that there was just 3 4-man scout teams in there with dragons, and that they got pasted by the support, yeah, maybe it was bound to work. But you can kind of see there's a preference here for somewhat more stand-up engagements. When it disintegrates into chaos like this, the Americans appear to have the advantage, where you can't really bring that mass to bear. But at the same time, like I say, I feel like we've been really unlucky with just two or three of the incidents in there. And the question is going to be, how on earth do I now accommodate that? See, if this was coming at like the 10-minute mark, 10 minutes to go, not 10 minutes in, I'd be a bit more like, oh well, we had a try and we went for it. Whereas now I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've lost all momentum. So I'm now stuck in this wood and can't really do much. And I'm stuck in Schwaben and I can't really do much because I don't have the mass. And I've got a company of tanks -2, minus Domfluff, who's just sitting there having like tea and biscuits or having some cake, having a picnic on this blustery January day because his tanks are mobilised. So what, I got 9 tanks here. I've now got 4 tanks around Schwaben, and I've got 2 functioning tanks over on the right here. So yeah, not great. But I am in control of the objective. I am about to block it off because the artillery is about to come in. And we can try and put the boot on the other foot and see if, now that I've lost momentum, I need to drop back onto the defense. So yeah, chaotic, but also not unexpected, I think we would have to say. It was always going to be a bit of a gamble. My other plan to exploit this further would have been to bring these tanks out of here, and using this wood as cover from the centre, rush them across here, across the railway line, into cover behind these woods here, and get them up this way and just keep advancing. But I suspect that it might be okay from there, but we know there's another M901 up here, so yeah, that's probably a bit too risky. It's probably will have reloaded as well by the time it gets they get up here, so it'll have 2 missiles. One of them might get across, but what's one tank gonna do? Not a lot. It's like we kind of seen, they need that really need that spotting advantage. That was the decisive moment of the game, most likely. And it has not panned out in our favour. More's the pity. But we're just going to have to make the most of it. So our battalion is not advancing this way, but if we can pin down this apparently super duper M60 company. Stop him reversing that way. We might be able to get something out of it. Let's just pull these guys back a little bit so they're less vulnerable to incoming tow missiles. And you need to get the hell out. Oh, Rice is already coming up, hull down up there, is he? That's great. That's just awesome. You're safe there. As safe as anybody's going to be. These guys are okay, but they're dropped into a shaken state. Nathy Lyric is having some kind of panic attack. 2 minutes before we can close off that avenue, but I'm now worried about all the other ones. It might just be worth going full hull down in the village. This flank is probably okay. What might Rice do with some of these units? Don't know. Let's bring first company up on this flank though. Just so that we can, if necessary, or what's left of first company. Yeah, just so we can, if it is, if we need to, pop up here to catch these tanks in the flank. No, I don't want to do that. I had everybody in the company, in the platoon selected then, and yeah, not going well. I'm just kind of peeling this way. Just trying to moderate some of the orders a little bit, keep it vaguely slow, or change the pace of some of the orders so that they don't all run into each other. They probably will anyway, because that's just how it works. But hey ho. Yeah, so we gambled and it didn't go well. But, you know, like I say, there is a bit of bad luck in there. War is the realm of chance and friction. So, this little cluster here, not great. We should get some survivors out of it. Still, I can't believe that. M60 there, that was just crazy. But yeah, we will. Just have to deal with it. So the the initiative, as it were, is passing to Rice here. And he can come and attack my village. But you also got to remember, because of the way we set up the victory conditions, you need to have both. Steady on camera. We need to have both objectives secured to get the points, the 400 points available for the objective. So it's currently contested because Rice is in it too. But even if he destroys me and kicks me out, he's not going to get those points because he's got to go over here as well. So yeah. Yep. Not great. But there's plenty of carnage, and that's what we're looking for.